Gamers, today we're back. Is Abbasid OP or does my Civ suck? Which is also Abbasid. Take your pick. So, we got Sauce. He is the one that submitted a replay and he is bronze. So we got our first, I think this is the first bronze player that we got here. This is the replay he has submitted. It's Abbasid Mirror. Now this guy you can see is diamond, but this is diamond from last season. And as you guys know, the ranks were kind of messed up in a lot of ways. There was a guy who was bronze but actually got conquer. So I wouldn't go off too much on that. So we're gonna just assume that he is also similarly. Now, number one thing, Saucy boy, you're gonna have to watch the build order guide that I have for Abbasid. So number one thing, this used to be a thing where you build a mill straight away, but not anymore. You want to go with 7 villagers on food as Abbasid, then 4 on gold, and then the rest you want to rally on wood. This is the common and the most normal build order right now. The only reason you do that, go on sheep instead of the berries, is because aging up with sheep is a little bit faster, and you also are not going to need to spend 50 wood, and you can instead build a lumber camp so you don't long distance mine like you will. 2 scouts, by the way, it's okay. It's again, 2 scouts has fallen out of meta since scouts take longer to build, and that's the most recent patch, I think. Making scouts take another, what is it, 5 seconds to build? Yeah, 5 seconds. So the 1 scout meta is kind of a thing right now. You can still go 2, but going 1 is something you might wanna try. Another thing, I mentioned this previously when we watched the other replay. You want to build your buildings at least 2 tiles away from your TC so you can fit in the farms. Because like this, you're wasting a lot of space because you can't use that, right? You can't build anything there. Alright, you're getting a lot of sheep. That's good. 4 on gold, 7 on food. I mean, that part is correct. Is this really bronze, by the way? There's no way this guy's bronze. Okay, he's in the chat. What league are you? Bronze last season. You didn't finish your placement matches. Okay, well, this is not bronze. Trust me, I've seen bronze games. Like, bronze controlling 2 scouts efficiently? Ain't happening. Okay, so I'm assuming this is around plat, and maybe this guy is actually diamond. His opponent is plat 1 right now. Okay, so his opponent used to be diamond 1, and he used to be bronze because he didn't play he didn't finish placement matches now or last season, whatever. So this is a platinum game, all right? I watched your guides, and because of ladder anxiety, I just practice versus AI. Alright, if you have any questions, tag me in the chat, whether it's about this game or some other game, and I'll try answer like stuff you're struggling with or whatever else. Yeah, the moment I saw this, like 7-4 and then rallying on wood, I was like, no, this ain't bronze. Yeah, okay, so you're splitting off workers as well, so this is good. You should start wheelbarrow soon. Well, lumber mill. So see, instead of doing this, like I said, the meta is you go sheep, and then instead of this 50 wood, you have a lumber camp immediately. Thus, your wood collection is faster, and then you build a mill, and then you upgrade wheelbarrow. So, yeah. Okay, this is a mistake. You definitely want to go to the closer wood line, because this is very, very exposed. So if he went like a horseman or something, you would be able to get harassed, and then you would have to move. So definitely almost like 99% of the time you want to go to the close wood line because of that. Alright, wheelbarrow. Yeah, I mean, this looks well timed. You don't need more gold, by the way. That's one thing. So far, you're doing everything better than your opponent. How many scouts does he have? He has 2 scouts. Okay. I mean, right now, you have wheelbarrow started. You have fresh food started. Your opponent does not have wheelbarrow, does not even have gold for wheelbarrow, and just started fresh foods. Wait, has this guy been long distance mining from this the whole time? 200 stone long distance mined? Oh no. That is a Pepe Dent. So let's see, what are you doing? You're going for second TC. Okay, you overmined a little bit gold. Remember, you need 150 plus 125 for fresh foodstuffs. And if you're going Spearman, you need an extra 35 gold to upgrade your Spearman from Dark Age to Feudal Spearman, okay? And then obviously you want to go from gold to the stone. 8 on wood, all that is good. Now, what do you know about your opponent? Well, you know he's a little bit, you know, not doing... I mean, this is just... I don't know what to say. Does he not see this? No, he sees it. Don't build a mining camp now, don't you dare. Don't you dare build... No, he's... Dude, this guy's just long distance mining. He looked at it. He clearly sees there's no mining camp. Who's the bronze one here? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, everything else from this guy looks good. I don't know why he's long distance mining though. It just confuses me. Alright, so you're going archer range. Okay. So let's start with that. Archer range is a response or an opener if you go camel archer. So if you go camel archer now, that's okay. But if you go archers, that's not good because archers are a response to spearmen, right? In this scenario, you would prefer to open with stables and be able to put some pressure on your opponent, force spearmen, and then you go archers or camel archers. And then your opponent is forced into going spearmen, so you take the map control because you have horsemen. So this could have been stables and about a minute earlier, like the moment you age up. And you would leave like maybe another worker on food to make sure you have enough food to produce horsemen. Okay, you're scouting. You know he's mining stone. And he's mining gold as well. This guy looks like he's AFK a little bit. I mean, I know he's not, but he's still mining gold and I'm not sure why. So right now you got the better build order. For sure. Going for a TC there. Okay. This TC is fine. You could have also gone for a TC here, by the way. This would secure deer, berries, and gold. Because this is already safe on Altai specifically. If this was another map, you know, doing TC on deer is correct. But on this specific map, maybe, or, you know, spawn, I would probably do it there. Alright, you're not going for more TCs. Now you want to have one TC rallied onto the wood, one TC rallied onto the food. He's building his TC as well. Okay. Yeah, you're gonna... I can already tell you what's gonna happen. You're gonna have way too much food. You're about to overfood quite a lot. Alright, camel archer. He's going stables. Yeah, your food is gonna be through the roof in about 30 seconds. Okay. Doing some good harassment. Okay, now you see stables. Very nice. Okay. Good harass. Still got the scout in the back. You know he's only doing 1 TC because he only mined 300 stone. So right now, just so you know, the meta in Abbasid versus Abbasid is actually just pure horsemen with few camel archers. And then if the opponent is going for a lot of spearmen, you can go for either archers or continue going camel archers and then just target fire the spears. The reason why you go mass horsemen is because you can raid the wood line in Abbasid versus Abbasid extremely easily because Abbasid uses a lot of wood and they chop through the initial wood really quick. So then the wood line is exposed, the food lines are usually exposed. Like the initial TCs on the new TCs on the food line, but eventually they're gonna run out and they gotta move. So in this matchup, mass horsemen with basically sprinkling in a couple of horse archers is the meta right now and is what's most commonly used because spears can't really raid. It's not like you can raid and run away because camel archers can just kill you, but you can raid with your horsemen. For example, right now you could go for spears to fight his horsemen, but that basically says I'm forfeiting the map control and I'm going to play defensive. You got to add more production. Right now you're not adding anything. Okay, you're going for castle. Okay, I see now. You're still going to have too much food. You already have too much food. If you cancel these, you would have enough for castle, but you don't have enough gold. Okay. Barracks. Alright. So what you're doing right now is not necessarily wrong. In this situation, the opponent is not putting any pressure on you, so this is not necessarily wrong. I'm just saying that I would definitely advise you watching some pro games in Abbasid versus Abbasid, and you'll see why Horseman is so strong. If these Camel Archers that you did good damage with, if they were Horsemen, you could continue raiding the whole time. You didn't need to go back, right? So, the reason why you don't age up like this is, I'm assuming, the reason why you probably lost as well. He is massing units. Well, massing 3 unit production. You can probably have more, right? But he is massing units, and he can harass you and kill a lot of villagers while you will have men-at-arms. I'm assuming that's what you're going for. But Horsemen and Camel Archers can actually kill men-at-arms very easily. So in his case, if this is the... or in your case, if this is the situation, you should have gone for Knights here. Or Camel Riders would be really good too. Okay, you're going for Spears. Okay, you see the movement. Another barracks. See, he started firing your spears with Camel Archer. And this is why... look. Boom. See how fast it does? And this is doing quite a bit damage. This is not game-ending damage. You're still ahead in workers because you had better worker production. But this is damage that you took because your production buildings were a bit late. And also because you decided to age up with very, very few units. So, let's see what else we got. Yeah, so this is the problem. You're going Mass Spearman. He has Camel Archers, so he can just kite you forever. So you need either your own archers, or you need cavalry to catch up to the Camel Archers. Look how fast Camel Archers kill your units, by the way. Look at this when they shoot. See that? That's why meta is Mass Horsemen plus Camel Archers, because of that. Look at this. He's farming you with 2 Camel Archers. And it's funny because this is the only matchup that works like this, and it's because of Camel Archers. Every other matchup, massing Horsemen would never work, because Spearmen would show up and that's it. But this is the only matchup where massing Horsemen, or not matchup, but I guess Civ, that this works as is Abbasid, because if the opponent goes Spears, you can just go Camel Archers and you will completely demolish them. And the Spears will never hit anything if you micro, right? Like, he is microing, right? So it's like technically Spearmen counter Camel Archers, but they're never gonna hit. So he just picked off like 6-7 Spears for free, basically. And yeah, he's aging up right now as well. And this is what I was talking about earlier, right? Look at your map. Look at your vision. Look at his vision. Oh, he pulled back the units. I was gonna say, he had units here, and if he kept them there, which he should have, he can see more than half of the map, right? On the other side, you're stuck inside of your base. And even right now, he went back, right? And you're worried that you're gonna get raided again, because that's the position that you're now both in. He's the aggressor, you're the defender. You're trying to defend, even though you have no clue what's actually happening on this side of the map, because you just don't have any info. Meanwhile, he went 3rd TC, made a mining camp, mind you. He did make a mining camp finally. And now he's going men-at-arms. So this is why when you play Abbasid versus Abbasid, I forgot the sheep. This is why when you play Abbasid versus Abbasid, going Spears is usually, I say usually, not correct, because it just slows you down and you kind of give up on the map control without consciously actually deciding, like, I'm gonna stop and give up the map control completely. It's just kind of how the units interact with one another. Oh my god, you got 2,000 gold. Holy smokes. You're adding farms way too quick, by the way. You still got these berries. You still got these berries. You still got this deer. You got a couple of sheep in there. And you got all the sheep in here. So these farms that you have could have been mangonels. They could have been more production buildings. They could have been a lot of different. They could have been another TC if you want even. So you basically, no matter what civ you are, unless English, you want to add your farms as late as possible. And you want to make sure you farm out the map first, because that is way more efficient, and you'll be able to produce more units. Yeah, if you look, every time camel archers shoot, look at this, every time they shoot, look how much damage they're doing. And that's because they do 24 damage versus Spearman. And Spearman got 90 health. So yeah. And now, because you lost the map control, you lost the scouting, you didn't know that there's men-at-arms, you have no crossbows, you only have spears, and that's it. That's what's causing this. Also, you don't have a lot of production buildings, which part of the reason why or a lot of units, and part of the reason is these farms that you made super early, these could all have been production buildings, like I said, possibly even walls. This could have been a keep, right? You should look at it like that. Like these farms could have been any other resource, basically, in the game. It could have been you mining stone and planting down a keep, and now you would have been fine. Then look at them making a little pathway. So yeah, like right now, yeah, you need crossbows for sure against this. But the production is lacking. And right now, he's out-booming you pretty quickly. Alright, so my main suggestion to you is the early game looked good. Okay, oh. The early game looked good. You're doing the build order, right? The issue comes when you entered the mid game. It seems that, and I'm assuming this comes from you playing as an AI, not real players. You're executing the initial build order fine, you're transitioning fine, and then you don't really know what to do, and I think that's due to lack of experience in multiplayer. Like this kind of, I'm gonna make some farms and make some units, works against AIs, right? Because AIs won't be as aggressive. But these kind of castle timings and attacks versus real players, as you can see, can do a lot of damage to you. So I would say that a lot of the problems you have will get fixed if you play more. Whenever you reach Feudal, opening with stable, try it. You can open with archery range, by the way, that's also fine. The problem is it's more expensive because it costs more wood, and you want wood for second TC. So what you should try is when you reach Feudal, have 5 or 6 workers left on food as you're aging up to Feudal to make sure you have enough horse production. And then get stables, produce horsemen, like just constantly pump out horsemen while getting second TC. And then if the opponent is going spearmen, sorry, you go archers. If the opponent is also going horsemen, make another stable, and then make another stable. Or sorry, if the opponent is going spearmen, you can go camel archers, not archers, sorry. And if the opponent is going horseman himself, you can add more horsemen, and after 3 stables, you can add an archer range to build a camel archer for the debuff against his cavalry. So if you enter this kind of cavalry versus cavalry battles, you do want to add at least 1, 2, 3 camels so that you debuff the enemy cavalry and they do 20% less damage, which is quite big if you have like, unit comps like cavalry on both sides. It will make or break the fight. Right now at this point, I mean, yeah, the mango shots are going to seal it. Technically your army should win this, but the mangoes will make this not really winnable. So yeah, I think you need more practice against players. I think your early game was pretty good. You need later farm transition and more taking the resources on the map. You need more production earlier, and whenever you're playing with, I don't know if you're Abbasid only main, but if you're playing with Abbasid, if you open a horseman and an opponent responds to it with something, you then respond to what they're doing, right? So you kind of start the game by dictating the tempo, and then you respond to what your opponent is doing. If you're playing against a Night Civ like Rus or Sud Malians or French, you don't open with horsemen is because knights will beat out horsemen, so you need to open spears. And then they will go archers, and then you go horsemen. So that's kind of how the counter and counter meta meta works. So I think, like I said, your biggest take from this will be to basically get more experience. The execution seems fine. I would not advise rushing castle this fast in an Abbasid mirror, or with Abbasid in general. Abbasid is probably the second or third strongest civ in Feudal, so there's no, you should lean onto that, and there's no reason for you to run away from Feudal, because that's where your civ is strong, right? It's like Chinese or English not wanting to go Imperial, right? It doesn't make sense. That's where you're the strongest, right? So it's the same for Abbasid. It doesn't make sense for you to rush castle because you're way stronger in Feudal. If you go to TC, you want to have 1 TCU in woodline, 1 TCU in food. Remember, your villagers are cheaper, so you will have enough food to produce stuff. It shouldn't be an issue. But yeah, thank you so much for submitting your game. Appreciate it. And again, guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, I do this live on Twitch. I don't have specific dates, so it just happens. You know, you gotta watch the stream or be on my Discord. I always notify people when I'm doing it on Discord. And then we do a giveaway that everyone is open to enter. It's not a pay to win. Whoever wins, I give them a little replay review, check out what they can do better, and give them some advice. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned something new. If you're watching on YouTube, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. For gamers on Twitch, let's keep going.